Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much again for joining me. This is actually our fourth part of the series of our training regarding Google applications. And I hope the learnings that you're going to get from here will not only be used for the examination, but more importantly, we make use of them for the betterment of how we deal with our online classes. So for this evening, we are going to talk about the following applications. So as you can see on my screen, we have here the sites, groups, and YouTube. Now I understand that these applications are not the usual applications that we use. And I understand that maybe some of you were not able or are not yet familiar with Google Sites and you have not created Google Groups email address yet. And I know that the majority of our participants are familiar with YouTube. However, I think there are few from our participants who already have YouTube channel. So I hope the talking points this evening will be able to help you also in coming up with your channel. Maybe you would like to have that. And then how to create playlists so that the videos that you're going to put there will be shared to your student or with your students, and they will be able to also learn something from those videos that are relevant on the subject. So let's move on to the next slide. So this is actually, or these are the applications that we finished so far. So we were able to talk about Chrome, Drive, and Gmail last Monday. So that's our first day. Then the calendar, docs, and slides on the second day. And then uh, I apologize for the wrong labels here. So just ignore those labels. This is for sheets, icon for forms, and icon for classroom. So this is actually the one that we're going to talk about today. We have the sites, groups, and YouTube. Okay. So let me first introduce myself. I know that there are new participants this evening. I am Victor Nilo Repatacodo. I'll be your presenter. So if you would like to add me on Facebook, my profile name is Victor Nilo Repatacodo. I would love to see your names in my friends list, and I hope we will be able to collaborate also, and for us to share ideas um, regarding the conduct of online classes. Then we also have here the YouTube channel. That's 5 Minute Lessons by Victor. I hope you're also going to consider subscribing to my channel. I am a teacher at Pat's College of Aeronautics, that's in Parañaque City, and I am Google for Education certified trainer. So this evening, we are going to start with Google Sites. So when we say Google Sites, it's just basically a tool for creating and publishing websites. So I understand that maybe there are some of you here who are wondering why we have Google Sites included in the examination. And maybe you are thinking that this might not be helpful for a teacher or to a teacher. So personally, I appreciate Google Sites because we can make or we have more flexibility when it comes to sharing resources to our students. So I understand also that there are so creative instructors or teachers and they would like to show their personality using their websites. So if you are that kind of person, I strongly suggest you consider Google Sites because the application has user friendly interface. So there. Another thing is, last night I talked about Google Classroom, and in Google Classroom, it's like one size fits all type of interface. So what appears in one instructor might be almost similar to other instructor because we have the same things that can be entered there, but of course different content. Okay, for Google Sites, as I mentioned earlier, we have more flexibility of how it will be arranged. If you would like to have, let's say, picture on one side and then the text on the other side before the next content at the bottom, then Google Sites is the application for you. Let me go ahead and check the live chat first. So I can see here that I already have several participants. Thank you very much for attending tonight. And then for the skill set, here are the different talking points this evening. So of course, we have to know how to launch Google Sites. We also have to know what are the different parts so that we will be able to make use of them when needed. Then we are going to create website. We are going to create pages or the so-called primary pages and then the sub pages. So I'll introduce them to you later. Then we also have the share. In our previous applications, we saw the importance of sharing the file with other people because we are able to collaborate with that particular file. So in Google Sites, we also have that feature. With that said, let's say you are already creating your site, you can ask someone to help you in developing that. You can make someone as a collaborator. Okay, we can also have the final output that you can share worldwide. So those are the things that we are going to explore later. That's actually the publish. So when you publish the website, then that means everyone who has the link will be able to access that. Or it might also be included in the results page of Google search engine. So there. Let us now continue with the next slide. So this is actually a sample website. I created this for the purpose of my presentation today, and also I thought maybe it's time for me to share my resources. That's why I created a website where I am going to put all those resources. So I'll click this, and then you see a new tab appeared, and then this is a sample website that has been created using Google Sites. So as you can see, my picture is there. Therefore, if you have photo editing tool where you would like to create your picture, or you can just take a picture of yourself and then upload it right away on Google Sites. So it's also okay. But if you would like to edit it, you might want to consider what I am showing right now. So here, for example, these are the contents of my homepage. So here I have pictures which also serve as links to other pages. And then at the top, I have here the primary page called resources, and then the sub pages called school and then training. So let's take a look what happens when we click the school. So as you can see here, I have my resources in which the viewer of my website will be able to see. Okay, so, and I hope they will be able to learn something from this. And then here, training. These are the professional development resources, or yes, events resources that I have. So I conducted this in different schools. So as you can see, it's all there. And I hope later you're also going to consider visiting my website. I'll give you the website address. Then here on the right side, I have the free templates. So you can also download these free templates, and I hope they are going to be useful in your online classes. On the right side, we also have the tech tips. So I think I already created more than 100 videos for the past year. I started YouTube. I think that was June last year, when there was a strict implementation of ECQ here in NCR, especially here in yes, in National Capital Region. So I actually created some resources that I thought will be helpful to not only to me but also to other teachers and to students. So there, you can check that out later when I give you the link to this particular website. Then on the right side, I have here contacts. where I place the different contact details that I have. Then on the right side, you see there's a form in which someone who would like to get in touch with me can answer. So there, it's there. These are just some of the things that we can create in Google Sites. And I hope through this training, you will also be able to come up with your own website that will cater the needs not only of your students, but maybe at your school. You might be needing your website soon. Okay, so maybe the things that I'm going to share here uh, will be needed in creating that. So let us go back to our presentation file. So the first thing, like I said earlier, I have um, a list of the skills that we're going to talk about this evening. And the first one is how to launch. It is very important to know how to launch because even though you know a lot about the application, if you don't know how to go there, then I think what you know will not be so useful. Okay, so I strongly suggest that we know how to launch them, and I am going to show you several options. The first one, like the usual way we open Google applications, we can go to the Google Apps Launcher, which you can find at the upper right side of your page, the nine dots there. And then when you click that, a menu appears where you can find the different applications. So for example, here, this is the icon of the sites, which we are going to click. Uh, for the benefit of those who are new to Google Apps Launcher, let me open a new tab. And then here, my default page is actually the Google. And at the upper right side, this is what we call as Google Apps Launcher. So when you click this, you will be able to see this menu. So for example, I'll click the sites. So as you can see, I cannot find the sites there. So what if that happens in the exam? So this training, this is not only intended for us learning the basic skills of different Google applications. This is not only intended to for us to use them in our personal, or let's say you have business, um, we have let's say business. So maybe the reason why you are attending right now is really to get the Google Educator certification, specifically the level 1. So it's possible that you might not be able to see it in the Google Apps Launcher. That's why if you notice in every uh, discussion on how to launch, I provide different alternatives. So for example, Google Sites, you can go to other methods. For example, sites.new, sites.new, website.new, or sites.google.com. Okay, so I am going to try one of these alternatives because I cannot find the Google Sites there. Okay, so to do that, I'll use the sites.google.com. I'll simply type in sites.google.com and I'll hit enter. And as you can see, I now have here the familiar interface. So this is like our landing page where you will be able to see the current files that you have created and then the templates. So you see there are templates also here which you can take advantage if you would like to jumpstart in creating your Google Sites. As you can see, I only have here 3 because, like you, I am also starting creating my Google Sites. So I am going to click the plus icon here, which stands for the blank creation of the Google Sites. So I'll click that. And then the next page that will appear is where we are going to start building or creating our site. Okay. So before I continue in putting things here, allow me first to share with you what are the different parts of our Google Sites. So at the top, like we used to, or like what we used to in other Google applications, that is also where we put our title. So let's say, or the file name, let's say sample website for GEC level 1. So long, too long. But I'll keep that as is, and then I'll just click some another location, let's say there. And as you can see, whatever we wrote there was carried to the title of your banner. Okay, so here, let me um, remove. Let's say I can remove this one. Okay, there. And then if you notice, it did not change, so we can just remove that. There. It's not showing the one. Maybe I can remove the 4 there so that it will be visible for users. And then I can also remove that there. So as you can see, I now have the title or the file name. And I also have here, actually, this will serve as a link in which when the user click that, it will go to the home page. Okay. But for now, since we don't see its actual function yet, let's just call that as a title. Okay. And here at the in the middle of the banner, so this is what we call banner. This is the title of your page for the benefit of those who are visiting your site, because they don't know what you put there, they don't know what your file name, so might as well put something here that they will be able to relate to. Okay, so for example, I am going to put here welcome. So there. So that means when they go to my website, the first thing that they will see is welcome message. There. So again, this is the title of the page in which the user will see when they go to your website. Okay. At the top, this is like the name of your website, the name of your web page. Okay. Let me correct myself, the name of your website. Because when we say web page, that's just the page, the one page that you are, let's say, right now creating. And then the website, that is the collection of multiple web pages. So there, you can add logo. Okay? When you click this, you will be able to add a picture or the logo of your brand, for example. So here we will be able to change the image. So if you don't like this image of the banner, you will be able to change that here. You also have the ability to change the header type. So here we will be able to see cover only, large banner, banner, and title only. So let's say I'll select title only. That means the banner disappeared, okay, or the image disappeared. So on the at the upper right side of the screen, this is where you will find the different options in which you will be able to preview your website. You will be able to get the link. So right now, it doesn't, or it is still disabled because we haven't published the website yet. So that is where you're going to get the link. And on the right side, this is where you're going to go if you plan to share this with other people for collaboration. And then on the right side, this is for the settings. And the three dot button here will be for, or is for, the more options. So when you click that, you will see other options. Then on the right side, you have the publish. Right now, I am not demonstrating how it works because let's just familiarize ourselves with the appearance of the Google Sites, which we are going to work on for us to create our website. On the right side, you will see here what we call as the sidebar, in which the things that we can put on our web page can be found. So for example, you would like to enter text box. So you can select this so that it will appear on your or on the area on your web page. So aside from text box, we have the images. We also have the ability to put HTML code, that is by using embed. But if you are a beginner, I strongly suggest that you master first other objects here. Okay, let's say you get the hang of using the Google Sites, then I think you can go and dive into embed. Then on the right side is Drive. So obviously, when we click that, we'll be able to go to our Google Drive to get those pictures or contents that we would like to put on our website. Then also here, if you don't want to put um, them one by one on your website, you have layouts here in which there are placeholders where you can just put your content. Okay. So at the bottom, you will be able to see other objects. Then beside the insert tab, you will be able to see the pages. So here, this is where you're going to create your pages. Then on the right side, if you wish to change the theme, that's where you are going to go to. So we talked about slides last time, and in Google Slides, we are able to change the theme of our slides. So we can think of it that way too. So now that we are familiar with the appearance and the different places in our working area, I think it's best for us to have an example. So I am going to demonstrate how we can make use of those things that I mentioned. Uh, I mentioned earlier, I understand that maybe the majority of my participants tonight um, uh, know this application just now. Okay. Well, you know, when I took my GEC level 1, uh, that was also the first time I knew that Google Sites exist. Okay, so you know, as I always say in my other trainings, if we don't prepare for the exam, then we prepare to fail. Okay, and the exam, like any other examinations, really require preparation. So if we don't prepare, then most likely we are going to find the questions there, the tasks there difficult. To those who are attending now that are not or who are not intending to take the exam, I hope the things that I am going to share will be useful in your work or in your personal for personal purposes. Okay, so we are now going to proceed in creating our first web page. So on the right side, again, we go to the Insert tab to add objects. So for example, here I would like to have a text box. So I'll just simply click the text box here, and just like in just like in Google Slides, you will be able to see there the text box also when you click that, and it will appear there. So you can also adjust that. Okay. So using this handle, you will be able to adjust. And also when you press Control Z or the undo, you will be able to bring it back. So don't worry if you make some errors or mistakes in doing things on your Google Sites, because we can also undo what we have done. So let's say here, welcome to my new website. I am happy that you are here. So for example, that's our welcome message. Okay, so once we are done, let's say I would like to add a picture. So I'll just simply click the images here. So when I click that, observe that I have two options, either to upload or select. So I am going to demonstrate uploading a picture. So I'll click upload, and you will be able to see here your pop-up window. Maybe it doesn't show on your end because I'm just sharing one window. I but I want you to know that when you click the upload, the expectation is of the a window will appear, and that's where you're going to select your picture. So let me go ahead and select one. So let's say, for example, I'll choose this. Okay, so let's say, for example, this one. So this is the picture that I can see on my desktop. So I can even move that. Okay, so as you can see, I can drag and then drop. So there. I can make it also larger there. So that means we really are, or we have the flexibility on how we are going to show it to our students. Okay, we can make some adjustment. There you go. Okay, and if you don't want it to be there, you can also click, drag, and then drop it somewhere else. Okay, so let's say there. Oops. But if you find this difficult to, let's say, do it one by one, you actually have another option. So as you can see, I put the text on the left side, and then the picture is placed on the right side. Okay. If you don't want it to be if you don't want to do it one by one, what I mean is putting the objects one by one on your page, you actually have the layout. So I will delete this first. You can find the delete option on the left side, so I'll click that. And then on the right side, I have here several layouts. So for example, I want the picture and text. So to put that on our page, we just simply click, and the expectation is it will appear on our page. So here you have the placeholder where in which when you click, you will be able to upload picture again. Or if you like to select an image from your, let's say, Google Photos, and then you also have from Drive, and then YouTube, calendar, and map. Let me just verify if what will happen if we click the select image. Um, I hope you can see my screen because it's still part of the window. There you will be able to select pictures from Google Drive. If you know the URL, you can search also from Google and then the Google Photos. Okay. So I think I am going to demonstrate how to upload. Okay, so I'll simply click upload and then I will select picture again. So let's say this one. So I just randomly selected picture on my computer uh, for uh, for fast demonstration. And if you feel like, by the way, that my demonstration is going too fast, you can write that in the live chat, or um, you can maybe let it be, and then you can just watch the replay later. Okay. On the right side, I have here the text. You see, I did not put text box anymore. It's part of the layout. So let's say here, welcome. No, no, I'm glad you're here. So let's say, for example, I'm glad you are here. And then here at the bottom, you will be able to type in your text also. So earlier, that's like the title of the text that you would like to put. So let's say here, I am Victor and I teach computer subjects. So for example, like that. There you go. So as you can see, we now have those content in our first page. Okay, so I made use of the layouts. Now, I totally understand if you feel like this is so confusing. That's actually what I also felt the first time. But, it's important that we practice, because when we practice, that's the time we get to apply the skills that we learn, the skills that I am sharing right now. And I'm sure you will easily say that it's just like using the other Google applications. Then on the right side, aside from the layouts and aside from the typical objects that we can put on our page, we also have other um, objects. So let's say, for example, collapsible text. So when I click that, if you notice, it's here already. So I'll type in, let's say, um, let's say I'll type in week one, okay? And then at the bottom, I'll type in, no, not week one. So let me just make that more relevant. So let's say resources. So, and then at the bottom, I'll type in, I am going to share my resources on this website. You may go to other pages to see them. Okay. So to see how the collapsible text works, if you notice the one that I just entered doesn't show up, you need to still go to this drop down arrow so that it will appear. So as you can see, it appears every time I click that drop down arrow. So there, that's the expectation of what will be done by the people who see this kind of objects on your web page. So when you click that, again, it shows up the uh, text that describes, let's say, that word. So that's for collapsible text. And I strongly suggest that we explore these several these objects here, because we can actually make our website more engaging, more creative, maybe more powerful if we make use of these other resources. So on the right side, earlier I informed you that we can insert forms when I demonstrated my created website. That is actually this one. So when you click this, you will be able to insert your forms. So you just follow the on-screen instruction so that you will be able to put them. So for example, this one, this is the form that I would like to put on the page. So I'll just simply click that, and then at the bottom, there is an insert button. So when you click that, the expectation is it should show up in our web page. So it's there already, in which you can also adjust its size. Okay. So by just going to those handles. Okay, so I hope I was able to clear things out when it comes to making use of the insert tab. At this point, I am going to show how to make use of the pages. So right now, our website only has one page, and that is our home page. So to add another page, um, and just to make it more relevant, let me go back to the example website. So as you can see here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 primary pages, and I have 2 sub pages. So you can also create many pages on your own website. So to do that, let me go back to our editing mode. I have here the pages. You just simply click that, and then right now we only have the home. If you need to add another page, you just simply click this plus icon, and then that's the new page. So let's say I'll type in, so this is currently our home page. Let's say the one that I would like to add is resources. And then I will click done, and observe that at the top, we now have the home and then the resources. When we click the home, the expectation is the home page will appear, and we are editing the home page. When we click the resources, right now it doesn't contain anything because we haven't placed any objects there. So if it's under resources, that means we are working on a different page. Okay. So again, when I go back to home, that means we are editing the home page. When I click the resources, that means we are editing the added page, which is called as resources. So let's say here I would like to add a picture. So to add a picture, I'll go back to insert because that's where I will find the images. Let's say the image is from my Google Drive. So to make or to go there, I will not select the images. Instead, I will select my Google Drive. So let us see what will happen if I click this. So you notice the sidebar shows Google Drive now. And let me check if I will be able to find image here. Okay, so let's say, I think I don't have picture. Mhm. So instead of that, let me just select the images in which I will be able to select. Okay, so I'll click the select and observe that it shows Google Drive, in which it will only load those images stored on my Google Drive. Okay. So that means if you would like to, let's say, upload any file type, then you go to Drive. Okay. However, if you would like to filter the images on your Google Drive, then the better option is to select the images here and then select the select option. So I'll make use of pictures on my Google Drive. These are actually some of the outputs of our participants. So remember, I am asking you to submit evidences of your output for our challenges. So these are some of them. So let me make use of this one, and then I'll click insert. And if you notice, the picture is there now. So that's actually how we put objects. Okay, so again, to get those objects, we go back to the insert tab. Now we were able, let's say we are finished putting things on a resources page. Let's say I would like to add another page, and that page is called let's say contacts, okay? Or about me. You can also have that. Then I'll click the done button. Then as you can see, we now have the third page, which is called About Me page. You can also modify this, by the way. The title of your page, you can modify that. And then let's say I am going to add another page. Um, but this time that page will become a sub page, meaning to say that should appear under resources. So for that to happen, we have actually multiple ways, but let's make use of the easiest one. I think this is the easiest. So on the right side, you will be able to see that familiar three dot button, which we call as more option symbol. So when we click that, you will be able to see there are other options. And since you would like to add subpage, the add subpage should be selected. So I'll click, and then right now, I am asked to put the name of the new subpage. So I'll enter, let's say, school. So that means those are the school resources that will be shown there. Okay, so I'll click done and observe that the layer is actually on the right side of the resources. So it's not on the same like level of the other rows. So it is moved like uh, a bit on the right side. So it shows here as an indicator that that is a subpage. Another indicator, if you have successfully created a subpage, is there is now that drop down arrow, and when you put your mouse there or click the mouse, it will show the subpages under that primary page. So let's say I would like to add another one. I'll click again, and then I'll select add subpage, and then I'll type in, let's say, training, because earlier I have training resources. And then I'll click done, and the expectation is it should also be under resources. So there it will appear under resources. What if you mistakenly do that? You have an option to delete, or you can just click and then drag it somewhere else. So that means we can also do the drag and drop method even if we are already in our Google Sites interface. So again, if I would like to bring that back under resources, I just simply click, drag, and then drop. There. Again, if this is the one I would like to show first, click and then drag. So that shows now the three primary pages, which are home, resources, and about me. And then we have two sub pages, which are school and training. And if you would like to make some changes in about me, then you have to select the about me page. So there. Then let's say here you would like to add your picture. That's that will happen if you go to insert tab and select the appropriate tool. So there. Again, we have here layouts that can make our lives easier. Going back to my sample website, you see here under my homepage, I have four images. And then at the bottom of those images, I have texts. That means I made use of a layout, which is actually this one. So you have the four images or four placeholders, and then the four text boxes. Okay, so if you would like to put that there, you just simply click and you observe that it's already there on the page. In which, when you click the plus icon, you will be able to put something. And then when you click this, click to edit text, you will be able to type in your text. So I hope you're able to get those ways on how we put objects on our pages. Okay. So let me just check in our presentation file if I am on the right track also. So here, I demonstrated earlier, I shared with you earlier the different parts of the Google Sites interface. Here is actually how we can add title, insert objects, and change theme. And by the way, if you would like to get a copy of what I am presenting right now, because you would like to make use of them to or as a material for your review, I am going to show on the screen the, let me show that, the link where you can go to. So this is actually the one we are using right now. So you just simply type in bit.ly /GW part 4 for you to see or to have the access to the file that I'm using in my presentation tonight. So again, I'll leave that there so that those who are just or those who are just joining, they will be able to see that too for them to access the file. So I'll go back to our to the demo. So by the way, if you have an access to the file, I also provided there clips on how to add title, insert objects, and change theme. So far, we are also done talking about adding pages and subpages. And then at this point, let's talk about how to share. Okay, let's say for example, you need to share your website to another user because that other user should also edit it. Okay, so we need a collaborator, for example. To make that happen, you will see here the the share with others icon. So you just simply click that, and then this uh, window will appear in which you will be able to type in specific email address or group email address. So I'll type in, let's say, this is the email address. And then when you click this drop down, you have two options. The first is published viewer, meaning to say he will be able to see what you have published. While the editor is that person will be able to edit the content of your website. So to share it with editor access, then obviously this is the one we're going to select. If you would like to send message, let's say you would like to inform that we want them to help us, then you type that here. And then when we click send button, the expectation is that person will receive an email that a file or that this website we are working on right now is shared to him. Okay. So that's how we share uh, our Google Sites so that someone will be able to edit also. Okay, so going back to our presentation, uh, before we proceed to publishing, let me go ahead and introduce the other or make use of the other symbols here. So the setting symbol, we can explore that. We can click that. And then here you have the ability to change how it how the banner will appear. So you can put it at the top or you can also put it on the side. No, the menu. Okay, the menu on the banner. So again, at the top and then on the side. So let me show you what happened when I selected the side. Let me close that. So you see the options there, the menu disappeared because it went to the side. So that the home, resources, and then about me. So if you would like to make modification on how it appears on your screen, you can go ahead and explore the content of our settings. We can also see settings for brand images and then others. Okay, so I'll close that. That's a place that is worthy for exploration. And then here we have the option to preview. So when we click this, we will be able to see how it will actually appear when someone who knows our website, how it will appear on their screen. And then we have here large screen. We have tablet. So this is the appearance when it is viewed in tablet. And then we also have here phone. This is how it appears when it is viewed on the phone. So knowing all these views, we will be able to make some adjustments on our contents. So once you are done previewing, you can just simply click this X button. Then you will go back to our editing mode. Let me go back to the settings. I want the top there so that the pages will appear right away. Okay. So the more options here you have, let's say it is already shared with other people, you will be able to see who made the changes in the version history. You can duplicate the site and other options are there. And then we are going to click the publish button. So the expectation is when we click publish, it's like we are sharing our website to all the people that will know the link of our website. Right now, what I'm using is my personal account. But if you are going to use, let's say, your work account or school account, then you will have an option there to just allow those who are in your school, meaning to say those with school account, to access your website. Okay, so that means it will not be accessible by those who do not have or who are not part of your domain or your organization. So right now I'm using my personal account. That's why when I publish this, all the people will be able to see it. So there is a web address here which you can modify. Um, but of course, that is subject to availability because sometimes if it's already taken, then it will not be given to you. There, especially if you already have a file with the same website address, so it will give you an error. So right now, this is the first file. Um, Supposedly, this is the first file, but I already created other websites before. But I don't have other websites with the same name. That's why it should work. Okay, so at the bottom, you will be able to see the publish. So when you click that, let's just wait for a moment. As you can see, it's now publishing and there is now a notification that our website has been published successfully. So now that it's published, let's say we need to share it with our students. So for example, that's your task. Share your website to your students. So in order for that to happen, you notice that earlier this is grayed out, but this time it's now enabled. Why? Because we already published our website. So to get the link, simply click this icon and you will be able to see the link there. Okay, so you copy that and then let's say I am the student. This is the, let's say, omnibox of the student. I'll just enter the link given by the instructor. And when you click enter, you will be able to see the website. Okay. So anyone in the world will be able to see your website now because you already published it. Okay. Now, be careful also because whatever page you have selected, let's say school, when you go to the get link, it will give you the link of that particular page. So if you would like to share the home page, therefore you have to select home and then click the get link and then copy the link. Or let's say this is the new tab, we can, let's say, type in there. When you remove the home there, by default, it will still go to the home page. So let's try. I'll click enter. So this is your home page that you have created earlier. So this is not the editing mode. This is now the actual appearance of the website that will be viewed by the people, okay, that you're going to share your link with. So let's say, for example, your task is to send the link to your students through Gmail. Then you just simply get the link and then send it through Gmail so that they will know your website address. So that's actually how it works. So if you notice, it has resemblance to other Google applications like Google Forms, in which you are able to preview also. You are able to share it with other people as collaborators, and you are able to share the actual form for the students to answer. But this time, for the students to view and make an interaction to your Google Sites. Okay, so let me go back to our presentation file. We are done with the publishing. And that means we have completed the Google Sites basic skills. I hope everyone was able to follow. Before we proceed to the next part, which is groups, let me first go ahead and check if there are some comments here. Thank you very much for joining me again this evening. I see that you sent a message telling us where you're from. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I have here another message. Good evening. So that's from Cebu. So we are not only limited in National Capital Region. I said last time I am here in Mandaluyong City. So I can see that we have participants from other parts of the Philippines. And last night I remember that we have from other country. So welcome to all of you, and I hope that you are enjoying the presentation. Okay, so I am actually trying to make my best to keep our plan that we're just going to have it in 1 hour. But I hope if we extend it to 1 hour, or we let's say it's already past 9, for example, I hope that you're going to stay and finish up until the last application. Okay. And then later, by the way, I'm going to share a resource. Uh, let's say you decided to take the examination. I already created the material for that, in which you will be able to know how to register, how to pay for the examination for you to take, and then what are some tips. So I'll be sharing that later with you. So again, thank you very much. But right now, what I'm sharing is the presentation file that I'm using in my demonstration. So that's bit.ly/GW part 4. So I'll go back to our presentation file to continue. And this time, we're going to talk about Google Groups. So Google Groups, this is where you're going to create Google uh, Groups email address. So the beauty of this application is, let's say you have multiple participants, or you have your students, let's say 20 students. You get their email addresses, and then um, in order for you to save time in sending an email to them, why not create one email address in which when you send something to that email address, it will send to all students. So that's actually the goal when we are creating Google Groups. Okay. Um, for this evening, I am going to share these three um, skills. So we have how to launch, how to create Google Groups, and how to use the Google Groups email address. So how to launch, oh, by the way, this is an example of a Google Groups. So the name of this group is GWT-GEC1-Victor. Actually, those who registered, I think I included you here in this group. Okay. Don't worry, if this is new to you, I am going to demonstrate earlier how we can create our own group. So I'll close that first. That's just an example. So how to launch? We have also multiple ways. The first is to go to the Google Apps Launcher. So when you click that 9 dots, you will be able to see a menu with icons. So let's say, for example, here we are interested in using groups. So we click the groups, and then the interface or the landing page for Google Groups will appear. And then groups.google.com, that is an alternative if you can't find the groups icon when you click the Google Apps Launcher. So I'm going to use the second. So I'll close the other tabs first, and I'll click a new tab, and I'll type in groups.google.com. So right now, this is still in my personal account. You see, I already created a lot of Google Groups, and then I also have here Google Groups which I was invited. Okay, so for example, you are to create your own group. Okay, so to do that, on the left side, as you can see here, there is a button which is called Create Group. So from the name itself, there we will be able to create our own group. And then at the bottom, we have My Groups, which means the things that will appear there are your groups. that you have created and that you have invited to join. You have recent groups, favorite groups, and start conversations. So this time, I will create a brand new group for demonstration of how to do that. I'll click, and then this one will appear. I'll close that first. Let me bring that to 100%. So again, I'll click the create group, and this window will appear. So here you see one of three. That means this is the first page of the settings or of the location where we are going to put the details of our group. So let's say the group is about um, GEC level 1 participants or trainees. Notice that when I'm typing, there is a suggested group email address here. So I'll leave that as is, but of course you also have the ability to change or to modify that. So right now, since I don't have that group name yet, so I'll just leave that as is. And then here you also have the description. So let's say this group is intended for trainees of GEC. Okay. And then once you are done, you click the next button, and then you will be able to see the second page where you will be able to specify the privacy settings. So for example here, who can search for group? So is it the group members only or anyone on the web? So let's say since this is a personal account, I'll make use of anyone on the web. But if you're using a school account, you have an option there to just select those who are in your domain or your school account. Okay. Then who can join the group? So here we have three options, which are only invited users, anyone can ask, and anyone can join. Now let's talk about the difference of the three. When you select only invited users, meaning to say you are going to explicitly put in the email addresses because you're just going to invite users. Another option is anyone can ask, meaning to say if they know the link of your Google Groups, they will be able to join there, and then you, who's the one to create the group, will be able to approve or deny. Okay. And the other one, which is anyone can join, there's no approval that will happen. Once they join, they are already or they automatically become part of the group. Okay, so for example, I'll select anyone can ask. Okay, and then that means when someone wants to join the group, um, we need to approve them first. Then at the bottom, these are additional privacy settings. Here, who can view conversations? So is it anyone on the web, group member, group managers, or group owners? So I think for privacy purposes also of the group members, then it's best if we don't make it anyone on the web. So let's just have group members. Who can post? So of course, you would like, let's say, our group members to be able to share what they know and be able to read the content of those who are sharing those emails. So for the who can post, we are going to select group members. And then here, who can view members of the group? So again, for privacy purposes, I think it's best to just select group members. Um, anyway, the on the web, anyone on the web is actually not there. Okay, but if you would like to just limit it to group managers and then group owners, then you can just move it there. When you click this, that means the members cannot be viewed by the managers and by the members. So I want all members to view it, for example. So again, these are the settings for privacy. Once I'm done, I will click the next button. And then here, this is the place where you can put group members. So let's say you already know the email addresses of some of the members that you would like to be here in the group. You can put them here. So type in the specific email address. So let's say this one, I'll type in this email address. So that becomes, or he becomes, a group member. If you would like to assign someone as group manager, you can also put the email address here. And then the group owner is here, which is you. And then you can also have a welcome message. And then you have here subscription. So before we create the group, let us identify first these uh, options for subscription. So let me go to my presentation file. We are done create. We are on the process of creating. So here, remember we have these options, which are each email, digest, abridged, and no email. So some of the terms here might be the first time you heard. So allow me to explain each one of them. So if you select each email, that means all the members of your group will receive an email as they come in. So let's say someone send an email, all the members there will be receiving that email. Digest is to get up to 25 full new messages bundled into a single email, which means um, the system will wait for 25 images before it will be finally sent to the members. So that is for digest. But of course, if at the end of the day the 25 is not reached, then it will be sent as to how many numbers it has. For the abridged, the difference is if in digest we have 25, in abridged it's up to 150 messages. And at the end of the day, if it doesn't reach the 150 messages, then it will be sent and also. The no email, that means if you specify that the members will not be receiving an email. They need to go to their own Google Groups interface for them to read the message. So literally, they have to go to place like this so that they will be able to see or read the messages. But of course, if we would like that to be sent to all the members of the group, then we have to make use of the each email. So I'll select each email. That means all the members here will be receiving the email the email one at a time, or as it is being sent. So let's say I send an email, all of them will be receiving that right away. Okay? Or if someone from the members send an email, then all of us will also be receiving that email. So each email. Then let us now create the group. I'll click the create group. So I'll select that and then I'll confirm. So notice that it is now being created, and then I will not go there yet. I just want to show that it's now here on my groups. So this is the one that I just created. So that is GEC Level 1 Trainees. So you have the description there, which I created earlier, which is or entered earlier, which is this group is intended for trainees of GEC. And then you also have here GEC-level-1-trainees at googlegroups.com, which will serve as your group email address. Okay. So let's say, for example, I already have 10 members here. Okay. There are 10 members already. Let's say I need to send an email to those 10 members. That means I don't have to specify each email address in the Gmail. Instead, I will just make use of this group email address. Again, that's GEC-level-1-trainees at googlegroups.com. So let me demonstrate how we can use that. I'll open a new tab and then type in gmail.com. And then I'll be showing my personal email address. So as you can see, I have a lot. I wasn't able to read some of them or many of them. It's 1,000 plus. So I'll click. Anyway, this is my personal email. But of course, if we are using the school email, we have to be so-called a zero hero. Okay. So I'll click the pencil icon to compose an email. So instead, what I'm pointing out earlier is instead of putting a lot of email addresses in two, why not just put one email address, which is your group email address? So I'll type in GEC dash level dash one dash trainees at googlegroups.com. So all the members of that group will receive the email that I am going to send. So let's say here reminders. Then I'll type in hi. Please be reminded that, okay, and so on. And then let's say I'll close that, Victor. So when I press the send button, again, the expectation is all the members will be receiving the email. Okay. So as you can see, it becomes more efficient on our part when sending email because you don't have to put in their specific email addresses. Another good thing of having group email address, let's say you are manually entering the email addresses of the participants of your Google Classroom. So instead of typing the email address one by one, you can just also put in the group email address. So it has multiple uses. Another use is, let's say I'll copy that. Again, I'll send that. So the expectation is all the members will be receiving the email. So we can use that in Gmail. We can also use that in Classroom. And we can also use that in our other Google files. So let's say I'll go to my docs. I just type in docs.google.com and then I'll open the file that we have created last time. Let's say this one, for example, this. So if I am going to share this, so there, I am going to share this. I'll click the share button. So instead of typing in individual email address, if you notice in this pop-up, which is still loading, let's just wait for a moment. So while it's loading, I'll go to our live chat to see if there are comments. Okay. So I hope you are going to also comment what you think about the application that we are using now. So going back here, you see here share with people and groups. So that means we are able to put in group email address, which earlier we created is GEC-level-1-trainees at googlegroups.com. Okay. And then select that. So let's say all the members will become a viewer. And then you just simply select that. And after that, if you want to put a message, then do so. And then let's click the send button. So there, we have now successfully shared it with those members of the group. So let me just check. That's GEC Level 1 trainees. Okay. And you can find it there also, GEC Level 1 trainees at googlegroups.com. So there. So those are just actually some of the uses of Google Groups. And I hope if this is the first time you encounter this, I hope this will be of use later on in your work, or if it appears in the examination, then I hope you will be able to recall this so that you will be able to get the correct answer in the tasks given. Okay. So there. So let me go back to our presentation file. We are done creating group. And here, how to add a member in our group. So let me go back to our group. Remember, the one that we created earlier is this one. Let's say no one is trying to join the group. Okay. So what we would like is to add members in our add members manually to our group. So if that's the case, you just simply click that and then this one will appear. So on the left side, this is actually where we can find additional settings. So here you have people, and then at the bottom you have members. So when you click the members, you will be able to see at the top add members. So when you click that, here you will be able to see a place where you can put the members. So you just type it there, the email address, and then select add members. There. Let me go back to the conversations. So if you noticed, all the things that I sent to all my students actually appeared here in my Google Groups. Okay, so there. That's actually the good thing of making use of Google Groups. So if you don't want to see the email in your Gmail, you can also see the conversation here. So it's a threaded conversation. So if there are replies, they will be appearing here also. There. So I hope everyone was able to follow. We were able to explain earlier how to make use of your Google Groups email address. We can put it in our Google Classroom, Google Docs, Google Slides when we are sharing files, and we can also send to it through our Gmail. Okay? So that ends the skill set for the Google Groups. Let me check if there are some comments here. Okay, so I hope that you are still with me tonight. It's already 9:11. Don't worry, we are now on our last application. So I am going to move on to the next slide. We are going to talk about the last application, which is part of the 12 core tools that you will be needing in your GEC Level 1. So here are the skills that we have to know: how to launch, how to search and filter, how to subscribe, how to share video, how to create channel, how to create playlist, how to edit a playlist, and how to share your playlist. So these are the things that we are going to cover. So now let's continue. And here is an example of a YouTube channel. So this is actually my YouTube channel, the one I created. I think that was last June 5, 2020. Okay. So there. And by the way, when you go to my channel, if you have not attended the previous trainings, you will be able to see the links here in this playlist. Okay, so that's the first playlist that I have right now. Okay, there. So I'll close that first. That's just an example. Now we'll move on to the how to launch. So to launch, we can go to Google Apps Launcher and find the YouTube. Okay. Another method is to just simply type in youtube.com. So I am going to remove the other tabs there and I'll type in youtube.com. Now hit enter, and this is now our landing page. Okay. So the things that appear here are actually based on your history. Okay, so there. Okay, history of making use of your of your YouTube application. So I am going to move to the next slide. Now let's talk about how to search using keywords and how to filter the results. So let's type in here. Let's say I would like to look for videos about Olympics 2020. So I'll just click that. So the search box is there where we put the keywords. And then let's say I would like to filter the result. The result should be less than 5 minutes. Okay, let us check if we can filter the one that we want. So I'll click this filter icon. Okay, so here I have options under 4 minutes, 4 to 20 minutes, or over 20 minutes. So let us limit the result to under 4 minutes. So that means when we select this, all the results that will appear are less than 4 minutes. So you see 3:52, 3:36, 3:06, and so on. Because that was what's specified in our filter. Okay, so again, to filter, we just simply click this and you can explore those filter options or criteria. You have upload date, category, type category, duration, features, and sort by category. Moving on to the next. Now, how to subscribe. I'm sure you are very familiar on how you can subscribe. So let's say, for example, I'll go to 5-minute lessons by Victor. And then to subscribe, by the way, this is the profile picture. And then on the right side, you can see their subscribe. Okay. When you click that, you will be able to subscribe. And then on the right side, you have the option to select notification bell. So let's say all there. If you don't know, I mean, if you don't want it to be this way, which is a long method, let's say, for example, you are currently watching a video in YouTube. Let's say I am going to, uh, let's say, this one. Maybe I'm not yet subscribed here. So, sorry for that. So, if we would like to subscribe to that channel, to the channel of the one who posted this video, at the bottom we also have the subscribe button, so you can click that, and then on the right side we have the icon, bell icon. So there. So we can select the all. So that's how we subscribe. Now let's proceed to the next, which is sharing a video. So going back to this video, let's say you would like to share this. We have an option to just simply click this one, and then we can copy the link, and then let's say we need to send it to our students. Then we can send it. We can send this link through the Gmail. Okay. So pardon the example. I think that's not for maybe for your subject. So let's say you would like to look for biology subjects, okay? And then let's look for some example video. Let's say this one. And then if you are to share, you just simply click the share button, copy the link. You also have other options where you can share it, but let's say you are to send it to Gmail. So you just simply click copy and then send it to the Gmail. Okay, so that's how we do it. And then let's proceed to the next, which is how to create a channel. So now that you know how to subscribe, you know how to share video, let's say, for example, you would like to create your own channel in which that is the place where you're going to upload your videos. Or if not, if you don't have the time to create your own videos, that is where you're going to put your playlists. Okay, that's why I am going to share how we can create a channel. So to create a channel, I'll click the profile picture, which is the place where we can find the option to create a channel. So to do so, just simply click the create a channel, and then here you will be able to change your name if you would like to change it. So in my case, I changed it to 5-minute lessons by Victor. So there. And then after that, you can also, by the way, change the picture. And then when it's good, you can simply go ahead and click the create channel. So once you create a channel, the next thing that you're going to see, I'm not going to click the create channel because this is my school account. So my personal account, I already created the channel there. So, but anyway, when you click that, it will automatically create your channel, and the next screen that you're going to see would look like this. So let me just open. Oops. Let me just switch my account. Not this one. Hold on. I hope you are still joining me this evening. So I'll switch this to this one. So this is the newly created channel. Again, if let's pause that. Let's say you are done creating the channel, the create channel option here will be replaced by your channel. So when you click the your channel, this one will appear. So of course, if it's a brand new, these three will not appear. Okay, so these are just here because I already demonstrated in other batches on how we can create playlists. So it will be a blank, um, like blank page here if it's a brand new. Okay, so there. So you have these tabs, which are home, videos, playlists, channels, discussion, and about. So those are the tabs that you have in your channel. So this is the landing page after you create your channel. So the next skill that we need to know is how to create your playlist. So let's say, for example, I would like to create a playlist about sociology. So to do that, I'll just simply click the customize channel. So this is the long method, but don't worry, later I'll share the shortest one that I think um, is. So I'll click the customize channel. Oops. Mhm. Let me just go back to YouTube. So I think I already mixed up my different accounts. So, by the way, in the exam, the reason why it's important to use incognito mode because this thing will happen. The possibility of mixing your account and the account that will be used for your examination. So, let me just make use of this one. I'll just close the other tabs and then I'll go to my channel. So, that's your channel. And then let's now create a playlist. So to create a playlist, what I'm going to do is I'll click customize channel and this page will appear, which shows channel customization. Okay. So on the left side, you will be able to see the playlists there. So you click that and then at the upper right side, you will be able to see new playlist. So this is where you are going to click, to add your new playlist. So let's say it's about sociology. And you have an option to change it to private, meaning to say you are the only one who can view the playlist. And if it's unlisted, then that means only those people who have linked to the playlist will be able to view it. And then for public, anyone on the web will be able to see your playlist. So I'll select public and I'll click the create button. Right now, I have the sociology playlist. So if I would like to modify the content of that playlist, I have here the edit in YouTube pencil icon. So I'll click that and then a new page will appear which I will be able to modify. So as you can see here, I have pencil icon to edit the title. So let's say sociology for academic year 21 to 22. Then I'll click the save button or link. I have an option to add a description. So let's say the description is the this playlist is for my students who are taking sociology class. Something like that. Once done, you click the save button. And then on the right side, this is where you're going to put your videos. Now, if you would like to add videos from the playlist, you have here the three dots symbol, which signifies more options. So we can click the add videos here. So I'll simply click that. And then from here, I will be able to search video. If I know the URL, I can select that. If you have your own YouTube videos, you can also select that. Um, but suppose in your exam you don't have your own videos, then that means you are to search. So let's say here I'm going to type in keyword, which is sociology. And then let's say this is the one that I would like to share with my students. Also this one and that one. So I have 3 videos selected. I'll click the add videos button and you will notice that it will now appear on the right side. So that means these videos are now included in our playlist. So the good thing about the editing is you can drag and drop and you can also sort it according to the date, the popularity, and when it was published. But if you would like to manually change the order, you can just drag and drop. So click, drag, and drop. If you would like to remove the video, click these 3 dot options and you can click that there. So remove from sociology A1 21 to 22. So it's now gone in our playlist. So that's how we add playlist in our channel and then we add pictures. Now what if you are tasked to share it with your students? Now that we are done putting videos, how are we going to share it with others? So you see there is a share icon here in which when you click, you will be able to see a link. So you just simply copy that link And when you are required to send it through Gmail or post it in your Google Classroom, then that's the email that you're going to put. Okay? So again, that's how we share our playlist. So let's go back to um, our presentation file. So I demonstrated this earlier, how to edit playlist. I also demonstrated how to share the playlist. Okay, so I think we are almost done this evening. Earlier, I told you that we also have an easier way on how we can create playlists and then add videos to our playlist. So this is like the long method that I demonstrated. The shorter one is just like this. So I'll close the other tabs. So let's say I will go to the home page and then this one. Okay, so pause that first. And then let's say I would like to create a playlist of Cocomelon videos. To do that, in mhm, that's not allowed. Let me find another video. Uh, let's say this one. Okay, so um, there are videos that we don't have that ability. Um, I think that's because Cocomelon is for kids. Okay, so it's disabled. So right now here I have an enabled save button or save option, which means I can just simply click that and then notice that you can add it to your existing playlists or you can create a brand new playlist. So that's another option. So this is the shortcut. You can click the create new playlist and here you can type in, let's say this is about skating. And then the privacy, you can select, let's say that's for public, and then I'll click the create button. So that means this video is now saved to the skating playlist. So let's say I find another video, which is this one, right? And then if I am going to add that to if I'm going to add that to the playlist, you can just simply click the save option and then look for the skating playlist. So let us find it. So it's here. You click and then it's already added. So that's the shortcut. Now, if you're going to do the shortcut, the question is, where can you find the created playlist? You can go to the guide, which is on the left side, and then here you will be able to see in the menu the playlist that you have created, and also the places where you are subscribed to. Okay, you have the subscriptions, and you have the list of playlists. So earlier, remember, we created the skating playlist, so it's this one. To go there, you just simply click that, and then this one appears. So here you can drag and drop, you can continue editing the settings of this playlist. So once you are okay with it, you can click the share icon and then you can copy the link and send it to your students, for example. So that actually ends the remaining 3 applications of the 12 applications that we really have to know in preparation for our GEC level 1. Again, the demonstration that I had in this training, that's not only intended for the examinees. I hope this will also be useful for those for your personal purposes, and maybe you also have businesses or you have your organizations in which all of or some of these applications will be able to help or apply. Okay, so let's just go to our live chat. So can you also share something there in our chat? So maybe you have some thoughts that you would like to share, you can also do that there. Now let us go back to the presentation file. Since we are done with all the applications, I demonstrated 12 of them. Let us move on to the next slide, which is the actually these are the participants who perform the challenges. Thank you to these 3 participants. You have the badges and you also have your scores. So those who are still wanting to join, you can do so for you to receive your certificate of attendance. So to do that, you can join the leaderboard. If you haven't created the account there, you can just simply go to app.gameably.com, and then once you create the account, or after you create the account, you use the code ULELA2 to join, and then you will be presented with these buttons. So the view challenges, that's where you're going to upload the evidences. You can take a screenshot of your output and send it there. The leaderboards, right now, these are our um, top scorers. So very good to these three. View my activity, that's where you will be able to find out what are the things you earned, like the badges, the rewards, and view world activity, see what everyone is doing. So I am willing to check your evidences up until 26th of August 2021 for you to get your certificate of attendance too. So we have the remaining challenges, which are for Google Sites, Google Groups, and Google or the YouTube. Okay. So for Google Sites, it is to create a website, of course, and this is the title, My Class Site. Create 3 pages, which are class calendar, student work, and about me. You're also going to create a subpage, which is student work. Title it, create a subpage of student work, and title it model student work. Consider adding images, text, video, embed file from a drive, and more. Okay. This is not actually required, but if you can demonstrate that, that would be appreciated. Then after that, make sure that you publish it to the web. So after doing that, you can take a screenshot, or you can take a picture and send it to our Gameably application. By the way, if you are unable to take a picture of the one flashing on the screen for the challenge, you can just simply go to the GW part 4, the bit.ly/GW part 4 for the copy, okay, of my presentation. And for the Google groups, you are to create your own Google groups. The name is your last name and then followed by class group. You can add your group description, and then anyone on the web can search your group and anyone can join. For privacy settings, remember that only group members can view conversations and and members. Again, only group members can view conversations and members, and only those group members can post. I also want you to directly add 2 colleagues to be members of your group, and those members prefer to receive email in bundles of 25. Remember earlier I explained the bundles of 25 and bundles of 150. So which one do you think is the best or the correct option to make it bundles of 25? So that's for Google Groups. And now let's proceed to the last challenge, which is about YouTube. I would like you to find the 5-minute lessons by Victor. If you are not yet subscribed, I hope you're going to subscribe and click the notification bell. Find a video tutorial about Google Sheets in the said channel. So I have tutorial there about Google Sheets, and send it to your colleague via email. Create your own playlist with 3 videos about Google Sheets and share its link to a colleague via email. So that means the things that I demonstrated earlier, you are going to apply it in your challenge. So earlier I said that I'm going to share a resource uh, for you to know how to register and pay for the examination, and then some tips. So that's actually what I am going to flash on the screen. So if you would like to go there, for you to know what's the existing process, that process is actually, from what I know, it's still existing up until this month. Okay, but I'm not sure if that will be changed next month, which is September. So if you are really planning to take the exam, so maybe the reference that I am going to share, how to register and pay, and what are some tips that I can provide, will be very helpful. Okay, so let me flash on the screen where you are going, where you need to go. So this is actually a recorded video of my previous batch. So I decided to just share it with you. Anyway, the information is just the same. So that's bit.ly/GEC1 reg. Um, it's not actually a file. Let me correct that. Hold on. To watch the video for registration and tips. There. I'll save it and then I am going to show it again there. So that's bit.ly/GEC1reg. So I am also going to put this in the description box of this of the recording of this video so that those who are going to um, go there, they can just click it in the description box. Okay. So today I shared two resources. The first one is this, which is the presentation file that I demonstrated. I mean that I used. And then this is the other one, which will be useful for those who are preparing for the exam. The process is there. And I heard that it's the same process for this month, which is August. And then some tips are also available there. So let me go back to my presentation file. So if you are accessing my file, there's a link there in which you can click and then you will be able to type in questions. So if you have questions in which you don't want to ask in the live chat anymore, you can also do that here in this form. Okay, so that means we were able to cover all the things required for the Google Apps training. And I hope uh, that you will be able to remember all the things that I have demonstrated. But if things, let's say if during the examination you were or you forgot, you don't remember the things that we demonstrated here in our training, it will not hurt if you're going to try it yourself during the exam. Okay, so let me just remove this. So there. So I think we can end our training now. I would like to thank all of you for attending the 4-day training, and I am hoping for the best to those who are going to decide to take the examination. So again, I am Victor, and I hope to see you again in my succeeding in my next trainings, in my next live streaming, and that's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye for now.